Yes, it is official. Club football is over. Done and dusted for the 2025-2026 season. We build up to the big one. International football at its very best. The 2026 FIFA World Cup to be co-hosted in the United States, Canada, as well as Mexico. Hopefully, Nigerian journalists would find their way back down to this nation to bring us up to speed as far as happenings in the World Cup is concerned. Remember, the green and white flag wouldn't be hoisted in the Mundial. No thanks to how insipid the Super Eagles were in the course of the qualifiers. On this note, I say welcome to another installment of Football Banker. So much truly making the rounds, and we are saying happy Eid Kabir season to our Muslim brothers and sisters out there. We hope you enjoyed yourself during the Salah celebrations in the course of the week. Well, back to the business, back to Talk Sports. Congratulations to Rangers International. Against all odds, they were in Lagos and they got the job done. This and more at the other side. Okay. Yes, welcome back. The show is the Football Bankers, a special package where we look away from club football because it is done and dusted at this time, and the focus now is the FIFA World Cup. We'll also be saying congratulations to Rangers International. Last week on the show, the guys really didn't give them a chance. We thought Ikorodu City were going to come to the party and make that happen, but it wasn't to be. Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu and his team were in Lagos and they made it happen. We told you Farouk Adetola is not in the studio today, but not to worry. We have Testimony Okeode in his place. Testimony, it feels great to have you back.
Thank you very much for having me. It feels very nice to be back in this chair and the starting lineup of Football Bankers. And yeah, like you said, club football has ended, but I'm sure we are going to have a lot of fun today.
Yes, I'm talking about fun. The man that gives you a plenty when it comes to analysis, in-depth as it should be. Talking football, we have Boluwatito Nishola Omoni.
Good to be back again. Well, still one more hurdle to go for the club football. That one is for, incidentally, all of us are flying Emirates, both PSG, Arsenal, and Real Madrid. So, but I think Fidelis Ilechukwu and the Rangers have shocked almost everybody. I think the big surprise for me was even Ikorodu. I thought they were going to fight harder, but Rangers told them, hold it. We know what we are looking for. Again, like Matthew said, congratulations, Fidelis. 2 titles now with Rangers. Let's see if he can get much more.
Bolu, let me stay with you before we come to Testimony. Rangers International champions for Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu, 2 league titles in 3 seasons as gaffer of Rangers International. Remember, before he joined Rangers, he won the title with Plateau United. It tells you of the consistency on the part of the manager. But I'd like us to stay in that game between Ikorodu City and Rangers. I wasn't at the stadium, but I saw clips. It's as though Rangers was the home team. I don't know how they were able to pull that crowd.
I passed through the stadium while the game was on, and from the distance on the bridge, you could hear noise. And the language I was hearing definitely wasn't Yoruba.
Yes.
So it was from them. The truth is, I think only Kano Pillars can boast of more fans in Nigeria than Rangers. In fact, Rangers will tell you they have more fans than Kano Pillars. It's they have the support, they have the fan base. It's huge, and you have to just give credit to Fidelity Lechuku. We also how we started from MFM, took them from nothing, took them to the continent. They finished second at a point. This career trajectory has just been brilliant and beautiful. I went through the remainder of the season. These guys, they won the most points away from home in this NPFL season. And in the second half of the season, I think they lost only 2 or 3 games away from home. They won some draws. So in fact, they had about 6 draws on the bounce. Most of them were goalless. So they knew what they wanted. We've said it a million times. To win the NPFL, win literally all your home matches, then pick as many points as you can away from home. And picking 19 points away from home in 19 games was the win for Rangers. Well done to them. I thought Rivers United had their... Rangers got the first advantage when they won away at match day 36. Rivers got it back when they won away to Wiki on match day 30. I thought Ikorodu City fighting for continent. It can't happen, but boom. It happened. So well done to Rangers.
And a testimony away from Rangers International. Let's talk Shooting Stars. They are back on the continent, the Oluyole Warriors as they call them. I remember growing up, if you hear Nigerian teams in the continent, Shooting Stars always at the forefront. But for decades,
27 years,
it hasn't been the same. But now they are back.
Wow, it's really nice to see the Oluyole Warriors back to where they should be. I mean, Shooting Stars is one of the, let's say, the biggest teams in the NPFL. When you see people talk about teams, especially in the Southwest, Shooting Stars is one of those clubs that have the most prestige, but they've not been able to live up to the name for a very long time. And it's nice to see that after 27 years, they are going to be playing in the CAF Confederations Cup. I mean, it happens like that. We've seen where clubs get it wrong for a long stretch of time, and then after some time, they maybe management changes and all that, and now they are back. So same thing to Shooting Stars. Shout out to the Oluyole Warriors. It will be really nice to see them, compete at the Confederation level next season.
Yes, away from the NPFL, we head up straight to the English Premier League. Arsenal Football Club, their fans are still celebrating. Celebrations that have truly sparked reactions across the world. In Nigeria, we saw cows, we saw rams on Arsenal jersey. We saw people in Arsenal's Ankara. I never thought they were customized Ankara made specifically for Arsenal fan base in the country. It's been a beauty, Bolu.
Many have said they are about doing, many have said whatever, but if you've been in the wilderness for too long and you get your freedom, I think I celebrated. I even understood
first title in 22 years.
I understood them better when a friend who's a Liverpool fan said he knew how it felt when Liverpool won. When he saw Liverpool win the first league title, that was in the COVID year that he over celebrated. So I think after then the emotional limit, some like I said maybe overdo or whatever. When you see those that are really celebrating, Arsenal didn't play on Tuesday. At the Emirates, immediately City failed to win that game. Arsenal were fueling, the fans were fueling the stadium. They celebrated till about 5 a.m. at the Emirates Stadium. Again, they didn't play on that day. They just gathered that, let's watch. Hopefully tonight will be our night. And some that were not there from the beginning, they just kept trooping into the stadium. So I understand their celebration. Well, I don't know what it feels like because my team has not gone that long without it. But overall, they deserve their celebration. It's been coming. They've been very close a few times. We check Arteta's strategy. Finish eighth. I think 6th or 5th. Yeah. Then second. Now it's finally got. I hope you can say followed what Remo Stars did.
Yeah.
Finish second 3 times they won. I hope you will follow Remo Stars to the championship.
Very interesting. And your thoughts on Arsenal?
There's nothing like over-celebrating.
Yeah.
They deserve the title. It's been a long time coming. We saw the amount of work they put in.
Yeah.
For years, they've been chasing the title. Finishing second
Yeah,
3 times
three
in a row.
times.
It takes a mental toll on the team. But then we saw these guys, they rose from the ashes and then they finally got to what they've been coveting. They've been in this banter era for a long time. We saw what happened last season where Man City players were talking about how Arsenal players don't have the mentality to win. But now they've won the league title, nothing like over celebrating. Let them go all out. Let them do what they want. I mean, even if it was a team like Manchester United, a team like Chelsea that won the league, I'm sure the celebration will be this loud. Even though they didn't stay that long, they didn't stay up to 22 years. But it's just how it is in football. Look at Mikel Arteta enjoying the win. After a lot of people have called him overrated, a lot of people have called him names, saying he should not be the coach this season. And he has proven them wrong. Nothing like over-celebrating, in my opinion. Let us now keep going. Up Gunners.
But if you look at the record of Mikel Arteta, Champions League semi-finals last season, the season before quarterfinals or thereabouts, now they are in the finals of the Champions League. They've won the English Premier League. What else can you demand or ask for a manager?
And the fact that you can even to an extent, compared to some other managers, still call him even a rookie. He's never had any job before now. The best he had was an assistant at Man City under Pep. Arsenal was his first job. Picked them up 2 months after that, they won the FA Cup. People thought, oh, we got our best then. They went dry. He was being insulted. In fact, I heard some legends say, Odegaard, Arsenal can never win the title with Odegaard as a captain. Arteta does not have the mental strength. There was time there was problem with Aubameyang. He's a useless manager. There was time where a problem with Ozil. He's not good enough to talk or manage great players. Look at him now, he's a Premier League champion. Even if he does not win anything again, you cannot remove that name that he's a Premier League champion. So well done to Arteta. But the next thing is what next? Because it is easier to get to the top than to stay at the top. Now everyone knows what Arsenal are all about. I tell people Arsenal's style of corner everything this season. If FA don't call it foul, next season everybody will start attempting. That's what the Premier League is about. So they now need even more mental strength to remain at the top. But for what they've done so far, it's so good. Arsenal, as it is now, I don't think Arsenal will be able to sack Arteta. It will be a matter of, I want to walk away. That's what it means when you do something good and you stay long with the club.
Yes, as we sign out on this, I think for Arsenal fans and for the football club itself, I think their playing style, their pattern, what we saw towards like 15, 20, 18 games into the end of the season is not what Arsenal Football Club is known for. Go into next season with the same philosophy. I don't think it would work, Bolu. This same very rigid kind of play. You're not as offensive as you ought to be. I think next season, other teams will definitely call them to size.
I think for like 2 years under Arteta, they've been defensively solid, but they say had attacking push. Then if you check those years, they finished second. There were moments, basically in April. They always lose in the race out in April. So this time maybe they felt our attackers are slowing down. What do? Don't lose your defense because the defending has been the same thing all season. It is the attack that reduces in terms of goals. So like they tell you, instead of not scoring and conceding, let two of us not cuckoo score. It's better that way. And they would always have moments where the goals will come. Everyone, like I said, they will now know this is what they do. They have to find a way to get better. If it means getting a replacement for Gyökeres, if it means adding 1 or 2 more players or having better creativity in the midfield, they have to find a way to wake up. I don't think they will stop their defensive style. They just have to get better in terms of scoring goals. And we think they are celebrating. Wait till Sunday because that will be their choice. And I like that they fix it then. Whether we win Champions League, whether we lose, we are doing our trophies of parade on Sunday.
Yes, very interesting. We say all the best to Arsenal Football Club. They build up to the UEFA Champions League precisely our next points of call after this break. Yes, the fans on the take as we build up to the UCL. Interesting fixture awaits as far as that game is concerned. And here in the studio, it's time to get the thoughts of the guys. Let's start with testimony. Interesting fixture awaits. Arsenal, the momentum of winning the league. You expect them to take that into that fixture against PSG. Your take?
Even before they won the league, I've always thought Arsenal would take the Champions League title this season. I mean, the idea for it was quadruple they wanted, but I think they'll settle for the double. Arsenal, they've conceded just 6 goals in the Champions League this season, and they are in the final. It is I don't want to use the word insane, but it is a serious level of defensive ability to concede only 6 games throughout in the final. They've played against the best trio in the world this season, talking about Luis Diaz, Kane, and Olise, who have over 100 goal contributions, and they conceded only 1 goal. So now going into the final against PSG, yes, PSG have been here before. They were here last season. They won the title last season. They have this momentum. They have the Ballon d'Or winner Dembele. But I think Arsenal's defense is good enough to neutralize them. I think Arsenal now have, they have this winning mentality. They know they can do it. They've winning the league has given them the boost. We talk about how they've been grinding out wins, all these 1-0 win. They haven't been very impressive lately, but it doesn't matter. This is the Champions League final. I think they will go hard in this one. They want to prove that yes, they are not just. It is not a fluke. Winning the league is not a fluke. They are the team to fear, and I think Arsenal are going to be the new champions of the Champions League.
And Bolu, your thoughts?
There are many scenarios around this game. Let's travel back 20 years earlier. Arsenal were like this 20 years ago. Considered, I think, only 2 games all through. In fact, Lehmann had 100% save percentage.
Yeah.
They considered only in their first 2, he was not in goal. From the 3rd game in the group phase till the final, they didn't concede. But they lost by 2-1 in the final. Then they played top teams, played Juventus, played Real Madrid, played Villarreal. Then it was perfect defense and create goals. It didn't work out like that. Let's come again to last year. Inter Milan were like Arsenal, so they don't concede goals until I think the semi-final, where they conceded about 6 against Barcelona, and they were thumped in the final by this same PSG. Moving back to the summer, PSG against Chelsea. Similar situation. Arsenal, just like Chelsea, were the underdogs, and Chelsea came and scored 3 against this same PSG. So the question is, what PSG are we seeing? The PSG that played against Inter in the final, or the one that lost against Chelsea? What Arsenal are we seeing? Are we seeing the Arsenal that lost in the final the same way 20 years ago? Or are Arsenal going to be like Inter Milan for last season? Or they will be like Chelsea? Both of them played last season in the Champions League. Arsenal won in the group stage convincingly, but they met in the semi-final. It was PSG that won home and they won. So there are too many scenarios about the 2 of them. PSG won their league a while back, so they've been chilling. Even before they won the league, Marquinhos have played only about combined of maybe 100 minutes in the league this season. Dembele has started only 9 games this season. They are giving them good rest in the league. Then they won the league a while back, so they've been chilling. Arsenal won the league before last weekend, so they were able to rest some other players. There's no excuse or fatigue or whatever for any of them. We don't even know how fit Ousmane Dembele will be. I'm sure nobody will know until we see the lineup, because they'll be playing mind games with us. He's been in training, he will be ready. He may not even play that final, but there's still the Kvaratskhelia somewhere. There's Arido is somewhere. Average Bakola is there. The midfield trio, brilliant. So too many things to look out for in this game. When we see teams, you hardly see a team get to their 2nd Champions League final and lose. Except you are Valencia, except you are Atletico Madrid. We've seen teams that when they get to one final, the next one they're getting to, they will win, including the same PSG. We saw it with Man City as well. So Arsenal need to think about that. We've never won the champion. Arsenal fans are loud. If they win this one, we don't go hear one. So they are ready to celebrate this one. If they win the trophy tour, on Sunday will be crazy. PSG on the other side, we've heard a few teams do double. Ajax have done it. I think Bayern did it, but those were the days of the European Cup. Since the Champions League era, only Real Madrid have done it. PSG also want to do it. They have the manager who was won treble twice. They have everything in their favor. My take for this final is going to be either straight win for PSG or under 3.5. If Arsenal will win, there may not be too many goals.
Yes, if you're a reporter, Bolu just gave you a direction on how to stake as far as that fixture is concerned. Before we sign out on this testimony, let me come to you. Let's talk about Luis Enrique. If he wins the Champions League back-to-back, where he ranks among the list of elite managers?
I think we should start calling him one of the GOATs. When we mention names like Pep Guardiola, mention names like the great Sir Alex Ferguson, mention names like Jose Mourinho, I think after that, we should bring in someone like Enrique, because he has proven that he's an elite manager. Even though there have been periods in his career where he had down times. But when you win, when there's results, then we have to give you kudos for being good. 2 trebles, which, I mean, we saw him, what he did with PSG. This same PSG had players like Neymar. This same PSG had players like Ibrahimovic, players like Messi, players like, they've had legendary players, and they were not able to do this. He came into the PSG squad, sent away Mbappe, the wonder kid. I mean, one of the best players in the world. And then he brought in Kvaratskhelia, brought in, you saw someone like Desiree Doué, who is just getting his feet, and then he won the Champions League. Not only the Champions League, he won the treble. He ranks among, when we talk about GOATs, I think we should give a space to Luis Enrique.
Very, very interesting. One manager that really caught my eyes. Bolu, but you said for teams like Manchester United, I think they should be keeping their coaching position for a manager like like Enrique, maybe in another 2-3 years, he might say, okay, I'm tired of PSG. I want to come to England because the English Premier League is attractive. And if a team like Man United begin to poach him, talk to him at this time in advance, then in another 4-5 years, we want you to come coaching our sides.
Well, Man City will likely be the one to do that job.
Wow.
Because it depends on what Maresca for City and Carrick could do for United, because there are talks, or the board have given vote of confidence to Michael Carrick to take over. If he continues this way, but again, if Enrique is available, you have to sack your manager.
Sure.
I always go back to Real Madrid in 2010. Real Madrid got the most points. Was it 2009?
Yeah.
Real 09, 010, yes. Real Madrid got the most points in their club history, 96 points. But they were still behind Barcelona's Pep Guardiola. That was a Pellegrini for Real Madrid.
Yes.
He was going to stay. Until Mourinho said in 2010 I was leaving Inter Milan. Pellegrini, you try.
Yeah.
But this is Useboro. So I think it's the same thing with Enrique. If Enrique is available, except you are a team that you are winning already, you may have to just let go of your manager. Like somebody said, he has got himself to that stage. There are few managers that won Champions League. Let's start that way. There are few managers that have 2 titles. Then there are fewer that have 3 Champions League titles. Talk about Zidane, talk about Pep, talk about Carlo Ancelotti. There are very, very few. And if he wins, he has to be in that conversation among the greatest managers as well. Even though my own great manager is different. I always laugh. I call Del Bosque and Marcelo Lippi. But Enrique is an elite manager. Let's see what he does. If he end up, even if he doesn't win this final, he still doesn't take down what he has achieved with PSG.
Yes, interesting. I will say all the best to the respective teams. Arsenal Football Club. Next week, we'll come and celebrate whoever emerge champions of the UCL for 2026. At the other side, we'll be signing out with some few transfer talks. Samuel Chukwueze, what exactly is happening as far as Fulham is concerned. Here's the final lap of the show. It's time to say our byes. But let's look at a few transfer talks. Bolu reports that Samuel Chukwueze wouldn't be getting a permanent deal at Fulham. He started well. At some points, he became more like a clown, the entertainer in the team. I think these distractions is beginning to tell on his career.
I think Nigerian players are the proof that talent is not enough.
Yeah.
There are few players in Europe that, for example, are skillful as Chidera Ejuke, but he doesn't get elite clubs. When he does, he sits on the bench. Same thing with Samuel Chukwueze. Remember when we were discussing Ademola Lookman's move to Atletico as the best Nigerian move in 20 years? People literally forget Chukwueze. He's an AC Milan player.
At some point.
Because he's not making impact. At Fulham, he just had a blip. Remember after the AFCON, came back, maybe you get the... But again, see, when that shows you can be talented. Kelechi Iheanacho is very talented, but we don't see these talents. For him to get a move to Fulham, it should have been a resuscitation. That, my career is dying. Let me use this opportunity to bring back. Let Milan fight to get me back. Now Fulham say they go back. Even Milan are looking at, come back home.
Yeah.
I wish him all the best. Maybe, just maybe next season in Europa League, maybe his turn. We've seen Ademola Lookman. We saw what he did in Europa. We saw Cyril Desert at some point. So maybe Europa League can be the turning point. But the big question is, when he gets back, will he play? Because no matter how good you are, if you are sitting on the bench, nobody will see you.
Yes, and Chukwueze not getting a new deal, but I must tell you, one man is happy in Spain, and that might just be a permanent destination for him, and his name is Marcus Rashford.
Wow, Rashford, I'm actually happy for him because we saw the amount, the way the media butchered him during his period in Manchester United. The whole club wasn't doing well, but they were picking Rashford apart. We saw the ex-England players like Jamie Carragher, just talking about this boy like he's not a good player. Marcus Rashford is one of the best academic graduates Manchester United have released in like recent years, and now I'm happy to really see him, getting back in form in Barcelona. He had double digits assists this season in Barcelona, and now he's a champion. He's a La Liga champion. Personally, he loves Manchester United, but I don't think he would want to come back to the club at this particular time. He wants to stay in Barcelona. Barcelona is the club to be, a club who has proven that time and time again they are going to win. So I'm happy for Rashford. I hope he really gets the permanent deal so he can show the world what he can do. And now he's in the World Cup squad. He's probably going to be their starting left winger in the World Cup. So this is another chance for him to showcase his worth to Barcelona, because Barcelona, they are not a very patient club. if you don't do it for a period of time, they're looking for replacements. Right now, they're still talking about a permanent deal, but they're still looking for a way to reduce his fee, even though. So, but I'm happy for him. I hope he's able to, get back in good form and just keep firing.
Yes, Abolu, good move to Barcelona, because if he had not made that move, remained at Manchester United, I can tell you, he won't be on the plane to the World Cup now.
I want to go. We saw we saw a glimpse with Aston Villa when he was on loan there last season. We saw him about, in fact, it was the first Barcelona player. He scored the first free kick in Clasico in years since Messi left. So it showed he has it in him. It just means there's something wrong in Manchester United. Fortunately for them, Carrick seems to have killed whatever is happening at Old Trafford. But the problem is, can Barcelona pay the money? Because I think the money they are offering is peanuts. United feel for someone that did this, he wants more. I think Barcelona should go all out for him and make him their top 9. Because we know when Rafinha and Yamal are fit, they are the first options ahead of Rashford. Lewandowski is going, just push him up front. Let himself, and obviously you pick him ahead of the likes of Ferran Torres. So let them battle it up front. I'm sure, even if he's as a backup player, if a backup player produces those numbers, you know what he'll do for you as a point. Now, move to Barcelona was the best thing in his career since all these United saga. Like you rightly said, now he's on the plane to World Cup. I mean, he may even be a regular at the World Cup. Tuchel likes players like this. Let's see how far he will set up. I wish him all the best. I don't wish England all the best, but I wish him all the best.
Yes, on this note, we'll drop anchor for today's package of the show. It's been an interesting one. I hope you enjoyed every conversation, in-depth analysis. As always, the conversation continues across all our social media platforms on your screen. Let's talk football 24/7. Let's hear from you. What are your thoughts? The UCL, all the stories making the rounds in the world of sports. We'll keep saying it just the way it should be said. We'll see you next week when we begin our countdown to the FIFA World Cup. Remember, all road leads to the United States, Canada, as well as Mexico from the 11th of June 2026. I'm Matthew Kugbe. Bye for now.